too bad. My butt's a little sore from some lunges yesterday.
Well, we are
Lunges
live
get
on
you every
YouTube.
time.
Every time, literally. It doesn't matter how much you train them.
We do them at our gym. My rule is at least once every 10 days, and everyone complains when we do them.
Yes.
Maybe we should do them more than 10 days because they wear you out.
Yep.
So we are with Carolyne Prevost, who is competing at the Atlas Games this weekend. 2 events in, and you are currently sitting in second place, tied with Freya Moosberger. How'd the first 2 workouts go for you?
I think it went really well. It went probably better than expected on the first one. They adjusted the deficit for the parallettes. It said 8 inches, like when we heard about it for the woman, but I think it ended up being more like closer to 5.5, maybe 6 inches, which just played a bigger factor in that workout. Like you could attack it a little bit more. I made up more of my ground on the lunges. Like I went unbroken on all 3 of the sections, like the 90 feet for every round. And I think every girl broke there, but they were better at me at the handstand push-ups. So I was just making my moves there, and they were making their moves more on the handstand push-ups. And then the last one was grippy. It was a lot grippier than when I practiced, but it was there was like 3 or 4 of us that were really close on the sandbags at the end, and then I pushed the pace a little bit there to kind of sneak in front of a few. So I was happy with that. Because there's just not a big difference between the top girls. Like you're just kind of interchanging places in the first 2 workouts so far. So any little win is going to be big.
So 2 quick questions. One, on the first workout, would it have benefited you to go to the deeper deficit? I know you're pretty good at gymnastics, but I'm not sure about your handstand specifically.
I think I wouldn't have minded the deeper deficit. I don't think it would have made I don't know if many girls would have finished it though. I think
it would have been more of a separator. I feel like if it was
definitely would have been more of a separator at that point. Yeah. I'm not sure.
And it was for the men.
I think I would have been pretty close to around the same finish. I think the girls that beat me in that workout were probably better at handstand push-ups anyways, and that was a good majority of the workout there. They were calling a lot of no reps for the hips not fully opening. I know a lot of girls and boys were really caught with a lot of no reps, and sometimes it just depends on what judge you have, what lane you're in. Because I felt like a lot of the athletes that were getting no rep had good reps. Like they're well off the wall with their butts, but they wanted them like a certain way, and people are like staying locked out in that handstand position, which just is burning out their shoulders.
My second follow-up was to the second workout. Did the sandbags affect your grip because of the ball shape of it, your forearms, or did it not affect your grip like the toes to bar?
It definitely affects your grip because you're just like pulling it off the floor, and a lot of grip and bicep just bringing it over your shoulder. So I think that just that combination with the toes to bars and trying to push maybe a little bit bigger sets on the toes to bars just got grippy. And then it just kind of gets your heart rate up. So I was just trying to find just a rhythm that I could just slow down my breathing and relax a little bit more. But yeah, it was a tough workout. Like I finished and I was like, oh my God, my core is fired up. My grip is fired up. So I went directly into the cold tub.
So today you have 30 muscle ups, some burpee box overs and snatches, and then the barbell complex. My guess is from watching you over the years that event 3 is good for you. Event 4 is more damage control. Is that how you're going into today, or do I have that off?
No, I mean, event 3, I think this field has a lot of gymnasts. Like I look at the field, there's a lot of really good gymnasts that aren't necessarily as strong on the barbells normally. I think it's a fast time cap for the females, the 10 minutes. Like we have the same time cap as the boys, and like the 30 ring muscle up is a lot easier for guys than girls. some of the very good gymnasts could get slowed down maybe a little bit on the barbell, and some of the girls that will struggle a little bit more on the ring muscle up may not get the chance to do as much time on the barbell as they would want. It's a good balanced test though. I like that one. I normally like ring muscle ups, burpee box jump over. I'm not sprinting the burpee box jump overs just because you're going directly into a heavy snatch with the short bar. And then the complex would be really, really good for me without the jerk. My
Right.
shoulder to overhead has never been a strength of mine, so it really depends on just good execution there. I still think I can do pretty well on that. So I wouldn't say it's fully damage control, but in any lifting event, you know, you want to make sure that you hit that first and second lift. You know, you look at some of the people from other regions and they missed on two attempts and then they got stuck with their first attempt, and that can put you in a hole for the rest of the weekend. So you just want to make sure you execute on the numbers that you're trying to hit, and you can only control what you can. You can't control what other people are able to do in that workout. So I still think I can do well on that. My damage control WOD is more going to be the fifth workout for me.
Okay.
So I'm hoping to get a cushion today, actually, with some of the lifts. Like I know that a lot of the gymnasts may struggle on that lifting complex. So I actually want help from some of the stronger girls to kind of get in between. Be like, but we'll see.
Yeah, and I just finished watching Strength and Depth and the lift, and a lot of people only got one lift in.
It's different, right? You can't compare people that are doing this workout as I mean, theirs was the third event. Ours is going to be the fourth event after a workout that, let's be like, those ring muscle ups, burpee box jumpers, they're crushing your shoulders. Even the squat snatches, you might get a little bit tired legs. So we're not going to be feeling as fresh as some of the other regions like Syndicate and MAC that did that workout first, where everyone's almost hitting all their lifts 1, 2, and 3 because it's the first workout of the weekend. You're seeing a lot of the events that are putting that lift in the middle have a lot more misses, that's for sure, or lower numbers. Like in general, I think that the top numbers this morning at the Lowlands, or strength and depth, were a little bit lower.
Yeah.
That's to be expected.
What about the timing of the workouts, not them being so late in the day? Is that something that you're accustomed to, or are you normally like an early morning workout person?
Well, I normally work throughout the day, so I try to do one part of my workout at school. So as a teacher, like during my lunch break, or if I have a lesson prep time, we have a CrossFit gym at school, so I'm able to sneak in like a part of my workout there, and I go directly after school normally, which is around 3:15 to like 4:30ish, 4:45 for like my second session.
This is normal for you then. This timing doesn't really.
It's a little bit later for the last workout. Like I'm normally kind of like just at home, laying in bed watching TV, like around like 8 o'clock at night. So that last one is a little bit later than normal than I would like, but I mean, you kind of need to just kind of get ready for anything at this point.
Yep.
Well, I know that the top 5 is really tight, but there is a little bit of a separation from 5 to 6. So hopefully you can pad that lead today. And we want to thank you so much for jumping on with us, Carolyne, taking time. I know you have athlete briefing at noon, so we want to let you get out of here, but we'll catch up with you soon.
Yeah, I'll catch up with you guys at some point, maybe again this weekend.
Awesome.
That'd be great.
Chatting with you guys.
Thank you.
Carolyne.
The
Good luck.
background noise. I just went like on the balcony here at the Airbnb.
Oh, you're all good.
It's all good. We just appreciate you taking the time.
Awesome. I'll see you guys later, though. Have a great day.
Right. Bye, Carolyne.
Bye.
So that was awesome. Second place tied with Freya. We also have another guest who's jumped into the green room. We only have 2 guests today, so we'll get them out of the way up front, and then we'll talk about the events of the day after that. But I have Logan Ewing joining us. Logan was like the last guy in. If you don't recall, he came on our show talking about how they kind of skipped over him. We got him in, and now he's there, and he's in the top 20 after day 1, and hopefully going to keep climbing today.
Can you hear us, Logan?
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Good. You can hear us.
I can, yes. Can you hear me?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Our the Wi-Fi here is terrible, just so you know.
It's okay. You're a little bit delayed. Tell us a little bit about your experience day one.
It was fun. Kind of needed to shake the nerves out a little bit in event one and got caught up in a race that I should not have been running. I should have been a little safer in the beginning there. But I felt good. So I thought that I was making it an okay decision, and then kind of dialed it back a lot on round two and had to let everybody else kind of go, realizing that I was going to be fresh enough to at least catch them in round three. Being in the first, you never want to just do good for your heat, but kind of midway through that workout, I realized the mistake I'd made and that I just needed to hang with the people in my heat as best as I could. And then I went into event two, and I knew that I went a little too hard in event one, so I dialed it back too much in event two, and then kind of had to sprint it out there at the end, and was able to kind of make that up. So got where I wanted to be, I guess, on the leaderboard. Being here, like being essentially the last one in for the men, people aren't expecting a whole lot, and they're kind of overlooking, like some of the people are kind of overlooking me. So it's like, you can't do that. Like, you got to realize, like, we're all 0 points. It's an even field when we get out here, and you can't sleep on anybody on your competitors. So I ended up with after day one, especially having said how I did not pace anything correctly. So we're gonna get that figured out today. Be smart on the lift. It's gonna be weird today lifting as our fourth event. Like, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot lower totals, and then probably a lot of failed lifts if I had to bet.
Are you adjusting your expectations on that with your coach?
A little bit, yeah. I wanted like 310, around somewhere around there. We'll see how the central nervous system feels after the 205 snatches. Yesterday wasn't the easiest on our central nervous system either, because we had heavy lunges and heavy sandbags. So, you got to think, like, if it was just a clean and jerk, or like even if it was just like 2 cleans and 1 jerk, no, I wouldn't be adjusting it. But holding onto that bar for 6 reps, if your central nervous system's gone, it's pretty tough. You may be able to get through the cleans and the front squats okay, but then you stand the bar up for the jerk, and you're starting to bobblehead. Your legs are starting to go a little bit, and you're trying everything not to pass out before you put the bar over your head.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys saw, but since this is sort of a wrap-up show too, did you check out what Guy lifted in the lift at Copa, sir?
I did, yes. I was, when he kind of
Insane.
re-racked on that jerk, I didn't think everybody across the semifinals that you've seen kind of do that whole thing, as soon as you like mess up the re-racking on the jerk, you're kind of done. But apparently not him.
Not him. No, and he ended up with, I guess in pounds, 356.4, which I think is a new event record. So
it would be
insane. And he only lifted twice. He skipped his middle round. He opened up with like 245 and then took a break because I think somebody got hurt. And he went over to check on the person that got hurt, and I think it shook him up a little bit. He didn't even have to do a third lift. He won regardless. So that was more for the record than anything else. So ego gets in the way sometimes. I'm hoping that, you're not going to fall victim to that as a rookie. It sounds like you learned some valuable lessons yesterday. Got a little bit of a Goldilocks story happening here. Too hard, too soft. Today we want to find just right.
Right in the middle. I texted the Mayhem athlete director last night, and I was like, yeah, I went too hard and then I went too slow. I was like, so now we know where that middle ground is, and I'm just going to live in there for the rest of the
Live in that
weekend.
sweet spot.
Well, not the rest of it, because the final event, if that one's just go. You just got to go.
Oh,
Don't
for
slow
sure.
down. For the other events this weekend, yes, got to find that perfect middle, and just keep taking points away, keep chipping away at everything, try to get as close as possible.
So I don't know how much you heard of Carolyne Prevost before you came in, but she said her grip was wrecked after that second event. So the first event is 30 muscle ups for right off the get-go. How is that going to affect your start to that event?
Luckily muscle ups are kind of one of my better movements. But yeah, no, my grip was fried after that. I ran over and just put my forearms into the ice bath right after that. And they were still hurting for a good 10 minutes after that workout, which I was surprised when I tested it. It was more of my core. So I was expecting my core to hurt and not my grip. But then once my grip started to hurt, I was like, oh, this is worse. But I don't know. If I were fresh, the 30 muscle ups, I might go 18 and 12. Or if I'm really feeling it, 20 and 10. But honestly, I'm probably going to break it into quite a few sets just because there's no reason to sell out on those. Because if you sell out on those and your grip doesn't fully recover by the time you get to the snatch, that's a heavy snatch to be hitting 15 reps at. So if you're not ready to hit 15 reps there, you're kind of, there's going to be some carnage on the floor for sure of people that did too big sets of muscle ups. Because you don't necessarily get to rest on the burpees. I get that you're not still pulling, but you're still pushing off the ground. So your shoulders and your grip aren't going to be fully recovered off the burpees. So I think, obviously the burpees are going to be paced if you're smart, I guess. But there's going to be some people that try to burn it down on the muscle ups and then end up failing half of their snatches. It's really all it is on that for the snatches, who can fail the least.
It's really diabolically designed. That
really
super gymnastic-y up front, and then for the men, 205-pound squat snatches. Man.
Yeah, you got to be good at everything.
Going into that barbell complex too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, especially going into the barbell complex. I was honestly a little surprised. I was messaging with Vellner when we were still wondering about our events, and when we figured out that this was that this was right before the lift, we were like, oh, that might change some things. He was like, I think I'm going to open with a nice conservative 225, and I was like, no, it definitely it's going to change the lift for sure, because 15 squat snatches at 205 on a regular barbell is no joke, but we're doing it on a short bar, so that's even spicier. It's going to fry your central nervous system a little bit more. It's going to hurt your shoulders a little bit more. It's going to hurt your legs a little bit more, but it'll be fun. I like that workout.
Well, Logan, we want to thank you for jumping on with us, man. We're rooting for you to keep climbing up that leaderboard. Hopefully you find that right temperature of porridge and you get to the end. But good luck today, and we'll be watching and rooting from the States, man.
Awesome. Appreciate you guys.
Take care, Logan.
Thank you.
Well, we want to thank Carolyne Prevost and Logan Ewing for jumping on with us, as they are a little bit busy this weekend, but they still took a little bit of time out to share what's going on with them.
Yeah, that was cool.
It's been a crazy weekend.
Yes, it has. Are we going to talk about what else we've seen?
So yeah, let's start with Atlas, and then we'll go through the other two. And are you going to pull up leaderboards?
I'm going to try. I'm doing it through Chrome now, so it's a little bit different than what I've done in the past. We'll see.
So I hand wrote them just in case.
I'm good at this.
All
right.
And Copa was not active when I tried to get it earlier. So
okay. So, guys,
and Nicholas. I need to blow this up so I can see it.
Oh my, does it doesn't not look good?
No, it's I'm on my small computer.
Oh, okay. I can read it for you. So with
Yeah, I
200
got it
points
now.
in first place, Nicholas Joyal. Just so everyone knows, I did reach out to Nicholas and on the DMs, and he didn't respond to me. But it would have been very cool if we got to interview him in advance of the Atlas Games.
Talk about an overnight sensation at 28.
Because nobody knew who he was coming in here. Even the announcers, were saying that they were sort of blindsided by this guy. But he's looking. I mean, he's running clinics around
When Andrew
everybody. It's
Hiller
kind of
says,
cool.
"I've heard his name, but that's
Yeah.
about it,"
Yeah.
like this guy's come out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. Patty V, second place. Jeff Adler in third with 180. Alexander Caron at 172. And then Tyler Lee at 152. And I don't know much about Tyler either.
No.
And he may not have, I couldn't probably, his name is so common, I probably couldn't find the correct Tyler Lee on Instagram to invite to an interview because I know we didn't talk to him either. And then we got Alex Vigneault, Connor Duddy, Jeremy Vigneault, Peter Mason, all in that top 10. And then Jack Farlow, the guy that everybody's kind of been talking about, solidly in 11th there. But it's going to be an interesting day.
I did reach out to Carolyne Lambre to come on the show to talk about Jeffrey's performance because I thought we'd have a better shot at his coach. But she's actually the media director of the Atlas Games.
Oh, so she's like running the broadcasts and stuff.
Yeah, so she said she'd come on after to kind of talk about the dual role of coaching and being media director. But I said, Jeffrey had a great first day. He's solidly in third. And she goes, no, he didn't. He got way too many no reps on his handstand push-ups.
Oh, no.
So that was a little funny feedback from Jeffrey Adler's coach and fiance. Another dual role she has.
I love it.
And I think that was more fiance than coach that came out in that
perfect. Yeah, most likely. So the ladies, we've got Emma Lawson, our pal Freya Moosberger, Carolyne Prevost, Paige Powers, Mayhem athlete, and then Caroline Connors.
How about Ellie Terrence Hiller coming from Heat 1 to 6th?
Yeah, 6th and 10th, strong finishes there. And our girl Ali Scuds is right in the mix too at 7th.
Yeah. And then we have a couple other people in the top 10 we interviewed right before.
Elena.
That are doing super well.
Elena, Callista, Nikki, Hattie, Addie, and Addie. Stacy
and the
Lauschen.
Retired Tori Dyson hanging out there at 13.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be a good day.
I took a couple notes about some things.
Okay.
Alex Vigneault and the Vigneault brothers in the top 10, but not in a qualifying position yet. But I think for Alex, today is the day for him.
Yeah, he'll do well.
Freya Moosberger, you've heard the name. You knew she was kind of up and coming. I think she's with DECA. Is she?
She's with DECA Comp. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Great performance on day one. Paige Powers, kind of putting it all together. We'd heard her a couple years ago, kind of as a teen athlete.
We saw her at the Mayhem Classic. That
was
her kind of debut. She did great
then too.
She was
like 15 or 16 then.
Yeah, baby.
And then Ellie Terrence Hiller, we just talked about, coming from Heat 1 to Heat 3. The other thing I wanted to say is I looked at the Atlas Games app, and they did not reseed the athletes today. And I'm hoping that's a mistake because that is really unfair to people like Ellie.
Oh, you looked at the heat schedule or the lane assignments? Oh, yeah.
Atlas Games has an app that you can download. It's free. And then it has actually the heat lists. And they have them the same as yesterday.
Well, hopefully they just didn't update the app, but they've done the graphics for the broadcast. Maybe someone just missed that assignment. Let's hope.
I'm hoping so because that's not really fair to those that jumped.
I noticed too, at Copa Sur, he's in first place, right? He swept the events yesterday, I believe, and they didn't have him lifting last in the lifting event. He lifted in the middle. It was almost like they had him in the center lane, kind of like they do when you swim lane people. But shouldn't your number one guy get to go last on a lifting event?
You earn that right to see what everybody else has lifted.
Right. So that was a little messed up too.
It was kind of a cluster in strength and depth too.
Was it?
you really saw it in Heat 1. I think they got it ironed out by the time the big names went.
Hmm.
But
Well,
yeah,
I actually thought that at one point in time, Katrin and Jacqueline lifted at the same time. And then the next time around, Emma McQuaid and Jacqueline lifted at the same time. So it was almost like because somebody dropped out or, like because Sam Brigg rested, they like staggered it the different way. And that doesn't give everybody the same amount of rest. So I don't know. Maybe not.
yeah, it was
I was
odd
half
this morning.
watching.
Heat 1, like they were going to give another guy like another opportunity because he went in the wrong window. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, it was really a cluster this morning.
That's a shame. Oh, well. Okay. So strength and depth. Willie Georges. Nope, he hasn't had an event win, but solid fourth, second, and third. We got Karavis. I'm going to mess up his name. In second place, Henrik Haapalainen. In third, Ludwig Hansen. No idea who he is. And Guillaume Bryant. Also not familiar with those two. The usual suspects, Jonakoski, Andre Hude, and Elliot Simmons, Reggie Fassa, Zach George, all sort of rounding out that top 10. And
Yeah,
this
my
is after
guess
3
is-
events. This is we're halfway done here. It's not like there's a ton of competition left.
Yeah, but as we know, that barbell complex can mess things up for a little bit.
True.
And I think that's kind of what's happened here.
I don't know though. You got those guys in 4th and 5th. They only got 8th and 10th on the barbell complex. It wasn't like they were weightlifting specialists. I mean, Andre Hude needed that to even bump him up to 7th because he was way back prior to that.
Well, and I was rooting hard for Hude because I have him in my fantasy draft. And he was not in that position coming into that event. So
right.
I needed everything he could give.
And then on the ladies' side, we have a tied for points, Emma McQuaid and Jacqueline Dahlstrom. They are both in first with 264. Solveig Sigurdardottir in third. Turi Helgadottir in fourth. And Taylor Howe, such a strong girl, in fifth. So
And
the big story.
we've mentioned daughters, but not the daughters we normally do.
So Katrin has not had a great start. Yesterday, she had a 4th and an 18th. She was dead last in her heat in that second event, and then finished 11th in this one, which we knew she wasn't going to be, top 10. But I mean, she's got to have like some very impressive performances. I know everybody likes a comeback story, and she likes to come back. But with the legless as one of the 3 events that she's got to, do well in that we know she probably won't, I don't know if she's going to do it.
I don't think she is.
Yeah, I mean, she'll be lucky to get last chance.
Fall?
Sam's only in 12th.
Okay.
Not too bad.
Yeah, she can definitely come back from that.
Let's see, 170.
And event 4 is a chipper.
Yeah, she'll be fine. She's only 16 points out of last chance. So yeah, I'm excited for Emma McQuaid, though, and Jacqueline as well.
Is 50 kettlebell deadlifts at 80 and 64, 150-foot handstand walk, 50 box jump overs, 75 toes to bar, and then back to the 50 box jumps, 150 handstand walk, 50 kettlebell deadlifts. Yeah, Copa Sur is still down.
Well, Copa Sur is not even being streamed by CrossFit. It's being streamed by Copa Sur. So, and it's completely in Spanish. And I just think they're doing their own broadcast. CrossFit is not managing it whatsoever. Because it's not under the CrossFit YouTube umbrella. It's under, you have to go find CrossFit Copa Sur to watch it. So they must just not be communicating very well. So no leaderboard for them.
Yeah, a couple notes on strength and depth is Willie George's shoulder seems to be just okay.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be fine. And Jonakoski, solid first day. I think he managed the lift, and sitting in 6th, he's fine.
Yeah, agreed.
Emma McQuaid looks like a machine.
Very excited for her.
And Jacqueline is right there. Like, she looks really good this year.
She really does. It's exciting.
Then finally the Katrin thing. Like, all eyes are going to be on her the rest of the weekend.
Yep.
and whether she can come back. But she did not do well in the second event, which was more of a chipper, right?
Mhm.
And now she's got to go into another chipper.
Yeah, and it's interesting to me, like we talk about the CrossFit Games here at the gym, and people either love her or hate her. She's very polarizing, it seems like. We had people watching her do the lift, and like some people were cheering and some people were booing. And I thought, this is weird. Like I know
think
she's a sweetheart to a lot of people, but I think when you become that to so many people that you end up making enemies too, it's just interesting to observe.
Yeah, I find that pretty much everywhere we go to
Yeah.
at the events,
Yep.
it's pretty much
Love or hate her.
nobody is like, meh.
Right.
It's either like I do not want her to win, or I love her so much I
Yeah,
stalk
she
her
has to win.
Instagram every day.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and you mentioned Guy swept in Copa
Yeah,
first 3 events, but how interesting that a semifinal actually did an open water swim.
yeah. Was that one of the events yesterday? Because I didn't see
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
That's cool.
event 2. I think that's the first time that's ever happened.
South Africa, Cape Town had a swim, but was it not open water?
That wouldn't have been a semifinal though, right? Or was it this year?
Yeah,
Oh.
but it's in Cape Town. It
Okay.
happened 2
Yeah,
weekends
that's
ago.
when I
It
was
in
on
our
the
first
road
weekend.
and had no idea what was going on around the world.
Yeah, that was. It may have been during the MAC weekend or the other one, the Syndicate Crown weekend. But I don't know if it was open water or not. It may have been at a swimming pool. Who knows?
Okay. Yeah.
We
I
need
take
to
that back
catch up
then.
on that. But it was cool. There's a lot of controversy about it, though. People are like, "Oh, there shouldn't be a swim. That's not fair. Swimming there, but you're not swimming at the other semifinals." And everyone, the argument was kind of like, "Well, it doesn't matter because it's not. It would be different if one North American semi had a swim and the other 3 did not, because then those people, that makes a difference. But when everybody from that region is doing that event, Fittest in Cape Town, Copa Sur, it probably doesn't matter as much."
Well, and also depending on the region, swimming may be a major component of fitness all the time. Like if you're in
Right.
Australia, it makes sense to have a swim event.
Sure.
Everybody there swims.
Yeah.
Everybody there paddle boards. You're basically just a big island.
Yeah, you are. That's correct.
So it makes sense. And in South America, maybe it's just more of a cultural thing where swimming is an everyday event.
Hmm.
But if Guy won an event with swimming, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I hope I'm right in saying that. I'm pretty sure I am.
He did
And I
sweep
was watching.
yesterday. I knew for sure.
Okay. Because I know Mayhem put something out about it.
Yeah, I just didn't know. I mean, I guessed he was going to win the lift event today, but I didn't know that until you mentioned it on air.
I mean, he opened with 151 kilos. He finished with 162 kilos. And I think the heaviest I saw anyone lift other than that was like maybe 135 kilos. So he was like, he didn't have to even do the second or third lift. He skipped the second, did the third. But we have to check on, I think is it Augustin Richelme? Is he a South American guy or is he a European guy? There was somebody who did the first lift that looked like he missed the clean and it looked like he popped his hamstring. Because he was on the platform, like writhing in pain. And then Guy went over to sort of console him because Guy was in the third group of lifters. This was the first group. So the first group went, he hurt himself. Guy came over to be with him. The second group of lifters went, and then the third group of lifters was supposed to go. Guy came to his bar, and then he just kind of shook his head and decided not to go. And I'm sure it was because, well, A, he didn't have to. B, he was probably a little bit stunned, and dazed from seeing someone get hurt. That's always got to go through your mind in a competition. Like, do I really need to do this? Because is the risk worth it?
Yeah, which if you didn't watch Strength and Depth, Sam Briggs sat out the last 2 lifts.
Yep. Good decision, right? I mean,
Yeah.
she knew.
She knew that she wasn't going to get any better than where she was.
Right.
And might as well save myself for the rest of the day.
Exactly. She's smart.
But so yeah, everything's popping today already. If you want to geek out all day, Strength and Depth is already rolling. My guess is pretty soon they're going to be hitting individuals.
Yep.
And then right after that, Atlas will start up.
Are we going to try to do something tonight or wait until tomorrow again?
That is
What are your
up.
thoughts?
That is up to you. I can do either.
Yeah, I can do either too. Sometimes I like to watch everybody else's stuff after.
Yeah, and I think we have a. I need to. I'll tell you this because we have production meetings right here on the air.
Yes, let's do this. What?
Is I will look at the schedule tomorrow, and depending on when they start, it may make sense to go tomorrow. But what I learned today is if we go tomorrow, it'll probably be a little earlier because I
Okay.
don't want to bump up against the
events.
athlete briefing.
Oh, sure. If we're going to bring people on, that makes sense.
Yeah, because today was noon, so
Mhm.
I was able to get a couple people right at the 11 o'clock hour, but then
Okay.
they were heading over to the arena.
Okay, and I can go as early as like 9:30, 10 tomorrow. So,
Yeah, I can too.
and all of our zero viewers will probably want to know when we're doing that too. So,
Yeah, well, someone just popped on because they wanted to know.
oh, see, they missed the production. You missed the production meeting. Sorry. Now you don't know what we're gonna do tomorrow.
Yeah, we had some numbers up through there as we were on.
Yeah.
But so cool of the athletes to jump on.
Are you working out today, Scott?
I am doing some housework.
Okay, so you're being active.
I'm being active.
Okay.
And I might get on the bike a little bit because I need to start getting moving because
Mhm.
Monday is when I'm diving fully back into working out
Got
from
it.
the road.
Well, I can almost sit on the toilet without hurting my hamstrings. So I'm almost there. I feel like I did demonstrate. I had class this morning. I demonstrated a couple wall balls and a couple dumbbell snatches, and it was okay. So
What pound ball did you use to demo?
a 10, a 10-pound ball and a 20-pound dumbbell. I think maybe a 15-pound dumbbell. Yeah, I always go really low because I'm never warmed up. Really, I just do.
I do have to tell you, I did go back and watch our show just to hear the story one more time.
Isn't it great?
It is.
So fun. Yeah, so we had a partner workout today with a bunch of wall balls, a bunch of dumbbell snatches, and lots of running. And JoJo's here. She's the best little gym dog ever.
Did she run with the class?
She did not. I had to keep her in the lobby with the door closed because we had the garage doors open and there's lots of birds and stuff back there. She would have been long gone. But she's pretty good. She just sits at the front of the bike, right by the front door right now, and is just kind of keeping guard.
Yeah, we actually went to the puppy park last night with Walter to get him some running in. And there were so many dogs, and because usually in the little park there's only like 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
There were like 7, and Walter was so tired last night. He was like, his head was hanging off the couch.
That's awesome. She'll be tired too because she's just, come here, mama. Come say hi. Ooh. Ooh. See, she's tired.
Hey, Jojo. Hey, Jojo.
Say hi. Oh,
what you doing, Jojo?
Oh, thank you for the kisses. She's
Jojo
a good
can't
girl.
hear me.
I know. It's okay. But she gets nervous. So like all this nervous energy, if I take her home now, she'll be zonked the rest of the day too because it's just, activity. Right, Mama?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, let's thank our sponsor super quick before we get off the air. Mobility Movement, mobilitymvmnt.com. Go there. Everybody gets a free 7-day trial, but our listeners get an additional free month when you use Clydesdale free month at mobilitymvmnt.com. And best energy drink in the business.
Love it. It's my favorite.
C4 Energy. Also supplements. You can use the code Clydesdale at C4energy.com, and it will get you 20% off all of the supplement line, even the C4 powders, all of that kind of stuff. The drinks are at a new POS. So we're trying to figure that out. There is going to be a solution. It's just going to take some time and energy to get that to work.
Yeah, but if you have Amazon Prime, it's free shipping, so it's definitely worth it. Just get them on there because they're so good.
Yeah.
Favorite flavor?
Have you had the Sour Patch Bros? No,
because I haven't gotten my delivery yet.
Well, this was, I actually bought it.
Oh, I haven't seen it. So I have a vitamin
this didn't
shop
come
right
in our gift bag.
And I've been going to the vitamin shop to get my mango. I use the Super Brain ones, the Performance Fuel, because I'm not really working out right now. So this is just like caffeine. It doesn't give me the beta alanine tingles that I don't really need right now. And I haven't seen that flavor yet.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Flavors are really good. I remember when C4 first came out with their stuff, this is probably in 2019, because I remember it was maybe at the games where, judges had it or they were giving it away somewhere. And the flavor like bit me a little bit. Like it was too intense almost. And I'm telling you, it's just one of those things that you have to like have a second one, because you will get used to it, the sweetness, and it's not sweet, it's sugar free. So you're not getting all the crap, even though it tastes sort of indulgent like you are. And you're kind of like, hee hee, I'm drinking a sugary snack, but it's not sugary at all.
I would say like a couple years ago, I would get one of these every once in a while, and I would like the flavor wasn't the best.
Yeah, it was either too intense or
what
had
they
like
are
a
doing now with flavoring.
Yeah,
Whoever
really
they
good.
brought in to do that has hit a home run. I have not had one I disliked.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like if you tried them before and you thought like they were disgusting, try them again, because I'm telling you, they're really good.
Yeah, because I like Starburst, and this is Skittles.
No, Skittles is really good too.
Skittles gets my Skittle flavor. This one is, which one's this one? Frozen Bomb Pop.
That's like the freedom sickle.
This is red, white, and blue popsicles you got as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. And they've got Starburst flavors, and then
wild cherry,
other stuff. Oh my gosh.
Peach mango nectar. That's what I've got now. It's really good. All right, guys.
Yep.
Thank you for our one watcher.
And check our Instagram. We'll have something up as to when we're going live either tonight or tomorrow to recap. I like them better in the morning, except for on Sundays. So hopefully we'll be able to have time to do it tomorrow morning.
Cool.
Until then, we will see you on Clydesdale Media, The Rig Report. Bye.
See ya.
I was in full screen and I can't get it.